welcome back to the podcast playground. Our newest podcast is The Best Podcast.
Join Jay Carter and Mivita Best on The Best Podcast, where the dynamic duo brings you their insider secrets to everything wonderful. Now Jay and me dive deep into the top 5 everything, from the latest cell phones to affordable wines that won't break the bank.
So tell a friend, you've found The Best Podcast,
where every recommendation is a gem waiting to be uncovered. Tune in weekly for your dose of excellence.
So picture this. You are going to spend, roughly 2,920 hours in bed this year alone.
Yeah, which is just a massive chunk of your life when you actually say the number out loud.
And yet, to make the single most important furniture purchase of the decade, society somehow expects you to walk into this brightly lit showroom.
Oh, with the terrible buzzing fluorescent lights.
Yes. You lie fully clothed on a mattress for 5 agonizingly awkward minutes just staring at the ceiling tiles.
While a salesperson in a slightly too sharp suit watches you pretend to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a uniquely uncomfortable modern ritual.
It's the worst.
It really is. And when you look at it through the lens of sleep science, it is just a fundamentally terrible way to evaluate a surface you'll spend a third of your life on.
Because you're awake.
Exactly. Your body simply cannot mimic its unconscious, paralyzed state while you are wide awake in public,
Which perfectly explains why the whole mattress-in-a-box revolution completely took over. I mean, a decade ago, the idea of ordering a bed online, sight unseen,
and having it show up compressed into a cardboard tube.
Right, and then watching it inflate on your living room floor like a giant marshmallow, it sounded totally unhinged back then.
It really did. But today, it's just the absolute standard.
But that convenience created a brand new problem for you, the consumer, which is severe analysis paralysis. There are literally hundreds of these brands now, and they're all claiming to be the ultimate key to perfect sleep.
Right, and we really want to cure that paralysis today. We've gathered massive stacks of data from the industry's most rigorous independent testers to find the absolute top 5 best mattress-in-a-box brands for 2026.
So we aren't just guessing here.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
We're pulling performance metrics from NapLab, where they've physically tested over 360 mattresses.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're looking at the clinical analyses and pressure mapping data from the certified sleep science coaches over at Mattress Nerd. And we're cross-referencing all of that with the grueling durability test conducted by Consumer Reports.
So we are taking all of that heavy data, stripping out the marketing fluff, and distilling it down into your ultimate cheat sheet. We're exploring 5 distinct heavy hitters today. We've got Helix, WinkBed, Nectar, Lisa, and Brooklyn Bedding.
It's a great lineup.
It is, but I don't want to just list off names and prices, I want to understand what is actually happening beneath the fabric. So let's start with the category that seems to dominate the top of every single testing chart, which is the luxury hybrid.
The hybrids, yeah, they really do dominate.
The data consistently points to a 2-horse race for the absolute best all-around experience, starting with Helix. So what exactly is a hybrid, and why does the Helix Midnight Lux consistently take that best overall crown?
So to understand why a hybrid dominates, we really have to look at the historical flaws of older mattresses. Traditional innerspring beds gave you great support, but they felt super rigid.
Right, you'd wake up with pressure points on your hips and shoulders.
Exactly. Then the industry swung all the way the other direction to pure memory foam. That offered great pressure relief, but it completely lacked structural support.
Yeah.
And it tracked massive amounts of body heat.
Because you just sink right into it.
Right. So a true hybrid, like the Helix Midnight Lux, engineers a solution by just combining the two. It uses a foundation of pocketed coils.
Wait, what makes them pocketed?
It means it's hundreds of individual springs, but they're wrapped in their own separate fabric casings. And then that's topped with transitionary polyfoam and finally crowned with premium memory foam.
Oh, I see. So you're basically getting the structural skeleton of an old school bed, but with the plush, muscle-cradling skin of a modern foam bed.
That is a highly accurate way to visualize it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the pocketed coils are crucial here. Because they are individually wrapped, they compress independently.
So they aren't all tied together like old springs.
Exactly. If you press down on your shoulder, only the coils directly underneath your shoulder compress. The coils under your lumbar spine remain fully extended to actually support your lower back.
That makes a lot of sense.
And that combination of targeted coil support and high-density foam contouring is why the Midnight Lux, which is by the way, a towering 14 inches thick.
That's a thick mattress.
It is. It scores a near-perfect 9.43 overall on NapLab. It has this perfect neutral sweet spot that just works for about 80% of sleepers.
I am looking at the price tag for that sweet spot, though, and the Midnight Lux retails around $1,899 for a queen.
Yeah, that is definitely a premium tier.
It is, but the sources also note there's this optional cooling cover upgrade for an extra $199, and I have to push back on this a little bit. If I am already dropping nearly $2,000 on a mattress, is charging me another $200 for a piece of fabric an absolute necessity, or is that just a sneaky retail upcharge?
Well, it depends entirely on your own biology. This actually touches on a really fascinating piece of sleep architecture.
Okay, tell me.
For your brain to transition from light sleep into deep restorative slow wave sleep and eventually into REM, your core body temperature physically needs to drop by about 1 to 2 degrees.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it had to physically drop.
It does. And if your mattress traps ambient body heat, your core temperature rises, your brain detects the heat, and it literally pulls you out of deep sleep.
So that's why you wake up sweating at 3 in the morning.
Yes, exactly. Now, the standard Midnight Lux breathes reasonably well because the coil layer naturally pushes air out of the sides of the bed when you move. But that $199 upgrade replaces the standard fabric with what are called phase change materials.
Okay, break that down for me. What is a phase change material doing that? Like regular cotton isn't.
So phase change materials literally absorb thermal energy by changing their physical state at a microscopic level.
Wait, changing state? Like,
Think of an ice cube in a glass of water. The ice absorbs the heat from the water, melting from a solid to a liquid, right? And that's what keeps the drink cold. The microscopic capsules woven into this cooling cover do the exact same thing with your body heat. They pull it away from your skin to initiate that crucial temperature drop.
that is wild.
Yeah. So if you naturally sleep cold, you should absolutely skip the upcharge. But if you are a chronically hot sleeper, that upgrade is a direct investment in your REM sleep.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Wow.
So Helix really masters that balanced hybrid feel. But there is a specific data point in the NapLab testing that caught my eye regarding edge support and sheer cooling, where another brand actually edged it out.
WinkBed.
Yes, let's talk about our second heavyweight, WinkBed. This one took the title for Best Luxury Hybrid. It scored an absolutely staggering 9.49 overall on NapLab, pulling perfect 10s in cooling, pressure relief, and edge support.
Those are incredible numbers.
Right. And it retails slightly lower at $5,799 for a queen. The sources keep comparing it to a 5-star luxury hotel mattress because of something called a Euro pillow top. What is the mechanical difference between a standard hybrid and a Euro pillow top?
It really comes down to how the comfort layers are integrated into the bed. On a standard mattress, a pillow top often looks like a separate pad just sort of stitched under the top of the bed.
With a big pancake sitting on top.
Exactly. And the problem is it can shift, and it often lacks support at the edges. A Euro pillow top, which WinkBed utilizes beautifully, places the extra layers of plush cushioning underneath the outer cover, so it sits perfectly flush with the edges of the mattress.
So it looks completely uniform from the outside.
It looks uniform, yes, but physically, it means you get immediate deep pressure relief right at the surface while maintaining incredible structural integrity all the way to the perimeter.
Which explains the perfect 10 in edge support.
Exactly. You can sit on the absolute edge of a WinkBed to tie your shoes, and the foam doesn't collapse under you. They even manufacture a WinkBed Plus option, specifically engineered with higher density foams and stronger coil gauges for sleepers weighing over 250 pounds, just to ensure the bed doesn't sag over time.
Okay, but let's talk about sagging and longevity, because I feel like this is the biggest mental hurdle for anyone buying a mattress in a box.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I am looking at a 14-inch thick Euro pillow top luxury mattress with steel coils inside of it. In order to get to my front porch, they have to put this thing in a hydraulic press, crush it completely flat, fold it like a taco, roll it up, and shove it in a cardboard box.
Yep, that's the process.
How does that intense compression not permanently destroy the steel coils and the foam before I even open it?
It's a totally valid fear, and it's exactly why Consumer Reports run such aggressive independent durability tests.
Right.
I mean, they don't just rely on theoretical foam densities. They literally built a machine with a 309-pound wooden roller, and they just pass it back and forth over these boxed beds 30,000 times.
Wait, really? 30,000 times with a 300-pound roller?
Yes.
That sounds like a medieval torture device for furniture.
It basically is. It simulates roughly 8 to 10 years of extremely heavy use. And the clinical data from Consumer Reports shows there is absolutely no noticeable drop in durability for these compressed hybrid beds versus traditional uncompressed showroom mattresses.
That's amazing. How is that possible?
The secret is those pocketed coils we talked about. Because they compress vertically, straight down, the factory press is just mimicking the exact motion the coil was designed to perform anyway.
Oh, so you're just pushing it the way it's supposed to go.
Exactly. As long as you unbox a mattress within a few weeks of receiving it so the foam doesn't stay crushed permanently, you know it recovers 100% of its structural integrity.
Okay, so we've established that hybrids like Helix and WinkBed give you that perfect, durable middle ground. But what if you do not want a middle ground? Choosing a mattress often comes down to a deeply polarizing physical sensation.
It really does. People have strong opinions.
So let's explore the great divide of the sleep world. The feeling of being enveloped in your bed versus being supported on top of it. The hug versus the bounce.
Oh, this is a great way to frame it.
Right. This brings us to the distinct philosophies of Nectar and Lisa. Let's start with the hug. I see Nectar took the crown for back pain and best memory foam overall. We're looking at the Nectar Premier Memory Foam model. What exactly is this bed doing physically to the spine that makes the certified sleep science coaches at Mattress Nerd recommend it so highly for lumbar pain?
Nectar is just a brilliant case study in material science, specifically regarding foam density. The Nectar Premier abandons coils entirely in favor of an all-foam construction.
No springs at all.
None. And when you lie down on a high-density memory foam, it reacts to your body heat and your weight by slowly yielding, forcing the material to conform to your exact shape.
So it just fills in all the gaps.
Precisely. If you lie flat on your back on the floor, there's a gap between your lower back, your lumbar spine, and the floor. On a really firm mattress, that gap persists, meaning your muscles have to stay tense all night just to hold your spine in alignment.
Which causes the back pain.
Exactly. The Nectar Premier's dense foam rises up to fill that lumbar gap completely, supporting the natural curve of your spine. Your muscles finally get the signal that they can release and turn off, which dramatically relieves chronic back pain.
And what about motion transfer? Because, if my partner is an Olympic-level tosser and turner, I want to know if Nectar is going to absorb that movement. Nectar's data boasts about zero motion transfer.
Yeah, you do.
Explain the physics behind that for me, because if I imagine dropping a bowling ball on a traditional spring mattress, the whole bed shudders, right?
Right, the bed shudders, because the springs are highly responsive. They take the kinetic energy from that bowling ball and immediately push it back out, sending a ripple all the way across the surface.
Right.
Nectar's dense foam is engineered to have a very slow recovery time, so it acts as an acoustic and kinetic shock absorber. If you drop that same bowling ball on the Nectar Premier, the foam instantly swallows the energy.
It just eats it.
It literally eats it. The energy dissipates downward into the core support layers rather than traveling laterally across the bed. Your partner could physically be doing jumping jacks on their side of the Nectar, and your side wouldn't even ripple.
Okay, that sounds like an actual marriage saver. Plus, I noticed Nectar offers a massive 365-night home trial and a forever warranty, which is just incredibly aggressive.
It is unmatched in the industry, really.
But let's take that kinetic energy concept and flip it completely upside down. Lisa takes the exact opposite approach. The data shows Lisa took best cooling and best hybrid with their Sapira Chill hybrid.
Sapira Chill, yes.
It retails around $1,599 for a queen, sits at 11 inches thick, and uses a combination of cooling tech, memory foam, and pocketed coils to provide what they call active support. But here's the number from NapLab that made me do a double take.
I think I know which one you're going to say.
It provides a massive 12.67 inches of bounce. I have to be honest, almost 13 inches of bounce sounds dangerously close to a trampoline. If Nectar absorbs energy to protect my sleep, isn't Lisa's bounce going to, launch my partner out of bed every time I get up for a glass of water?
Well, you are not going to catapult your partner into the hallway, don't worry.
Yeah.
But you are hitting on a fundamental trade-off in mattress engineering. Bounce, in the context of NapLab's testing, is really a measure of responsiveness.
Okay.
Lisa uses specific, highly responsive foam chemistry in their top layers, and they pair that with the mechanical spring of the pocketed coils beneath. So instead of swallowing kinetic energy like Nectar does, Lisa returns it.
But why on earth would I want the bed to push back against me?
Because of your specific sleep architecture. Think about your own habits. Nectar is phenomenal. If you want to fall asleep in one spot, be deeply cradled, and stay there for 8 solid hours.
Right.
But many people are active sleepers. They change from their back to their side to their stomach maybe 20 or 30 times a night. If you are an active sleeper on a dense memory foam bed like Nectar, you have to exert physical effort to roll out of the deep impression you've made.
Oh, because it molded to you.
Right. You are constantly fighting the material to move.
And I guess that wakes you up.
Exactly. It caused micro-awakenings. You might not remember them the next morning, but your brain is constantly being pulled out of deep REM sleep just to coordinate the muscle movement needed to fight the foam.
Wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah. So with Elisa Sapira Chill, that 12.67 inches of responsive balance actually works with you. The bed practically assists your movement, requiring zero effort to change positions. It completely prevents that dreaded stuck-in-the-mud feeling that's usually associated with older memory foams.
The hug versus the bounce. It really is that simple when you break down the mechanics of it. Nectar locks you in and relieves the pressure. Lisa keeps you cool and moves with you. All right, so we've talked about premium luxury hybrids. We've talked about specialized, targeted feels. But we have to address the elephant in the room, the practical, budget-conscious question.
Right, the money.
Do you actually have to spend $1,500 to $1,900 for a great boxed mattress? Let's bring in our best value pick, Brooklyn Bedding.
Brooklyn Bedding occupies a really disruptive position in the current market, honestly.
The data on them is fascinating. The sources highlight their signature hybrid, which offers a highly rated construction for under $1,000 for a queen. Even if you upgrade to their luxury model, the Aurora Luxe, you're still only looking at around $1,398.
Which is incredibly competitive.
It really is. The testing shows they use advanced cooling fabrics, offer 3 distinct firmness options, soft, medium, and firm, and they give you a 120-night trial alongside a 10-year warranty. Now, I do want to note they charge a $99 return fee if you don't like it.
Yeah, that's worth keeping in mind.
But still, I have a pointed question for you. If Brooklyn Bedding can build a highly rated cooling hybrid with pocketed coils for under $1,000, what are we actually paying for with the $1,800 Helix or Wink bed?
That is the million-dollar question.
Is this like buying generic pharmaceuticals versus the name brand where the active ingredients are identical but you're just paying for a designer label? Or is there a tangible drop in physical quality when you pay less?
That is the ultimate question for any savvy consumer, and the pharmaceutical analogy is actually quite apt. We have to look at the economic concept of the cost-to-performance ratio and how the law of diminishing returns applies to mattresses.
Okay, walk me through that.
The leap in quality, engineering, and support from a $300 discount foam bed you might find on Amazon to a $1,000 hybrid like the Brooklyn Bedding signature is absolutely massive. It is literally the difference between waking up in pain and waking up refreshed.
But the leap from $1,000 to $1,800.
It is much more subtle. You are entering the realm of marginal gains. Brooklyn Bedding's primary advantage is vertical integration.
What does that mean in this context?
They actually own their own massive manufacturing facilities in Arizona. They build the beds themselves, box them themselves, and ship them directly to you. They have completely cut out the middleman markups that other brands have to bake into their retail price.
So they just pass the logistical savings on to the consumer, but mechanically speaking, is the $900 bed identical to the $1,800 beds?
Not identical, no. To get under that $1,000 threshold, they do have to trim slightly. The Brooklyn Bedding Signature Hybrid is 11 inches thick, whereas the Helix Midnight Luxe is a towering 14 inches.
Right.
And you aren't getting the intricate, hand-tufted Euro pillow top of the Wink bed. But the active ingredients, as you call them, the foundational pocketed coils, the high-density transition foams, the advanced cooling covers, they're all incredibly well-engineered and highly effective.
So the engine under the hood is functionally similar. You're just opting for standard seats instead of the heated leather, and you are skipping the custom paint job.
Exactly. For shoppers who want premium sleep architecture, like reliable temperature regulation, excellent spinal alignment, and solid edge support without paying the premium markup for absolute luxury aesthetics, Brooklyn Bedding represents the ultimate sweet spot in the entire industry.
And the return fee?
The $99 return fee is a small point of friction, yes, but it is just a logistical necessity that allows them to keep the initial purchase price so aggressively low in the first place.
That makes total sense. It really is about knowing which features your body actually prioritizes. We've covered a massive amount of technical ground today, from phase change, thermoregulation, to kinetic energy shock absorbers. Let's build a quick recap, an ultimate cheat sheet for you, the listener, so you can finally cure that analysis paralysis and make a confident decision.
I love it. Let's do it.
If you want the perfect, universally loved, balanced hybrid experience with incredible pressure relief, you want the Helix Midnight Lux. If you want to feel like you are sleeping in a high-end, 5-star luxury hotel with a plush, flush-to-the-edge Euro pillow top, the Wink bed is your pick.
Spot on.
If you suffer from lower back pain and want a dense, enveloping memory foam that absorbs all of your partner's kinetic energy, go with the Nectar Premier. If you're an active sleeper who needs a cool, bouncy, responsive bed that works with your movements so you don't feel stuck in the mud, Lisa Sapira Chill is the one.
Yep.
And finally, if you want to hit the ultimate sweet spot of premium core engineering without the premium price tag, the Brooklyn Bedding Signature Hybrid is your unbeatable value.
You know, it is truly remarkable to step back and look at how much this industry has evolved in just a decade. The sheer concept of buying a bed online without lying on it used to seem incredibly risky to the consumer.
Oh, it felt like gambling with $1,000.
It really did. But look at the trials we discussed today. 100 nights for Lisa, 120 nights for Helix, Wink Bed, and Brooklyn Bedding, and an unbelievable 365 nights for Nectar.
A full year.
A full year. The industry hasn't just optimized how they manufacture and ship beds, they have entirely shifted the financial risk off of your shoulders and onto theirs. You are no longer guessing based on 5 awkward minutes in a brightly lit showroom. You get to test the biomechanics of the bed in your own home, in your own specific sleep environment, for months.
That really is the real revolution here. You get to actually sleep on it. So looking at this data, we've solved the delivery mechanics, we've solved the consumer risk, we've optimized foam densities, coil gauges, and phase change fabrics to an exact measurable science. Where does mattress engineering possibly go from here?
The data actually points toward a fascinating and highly provocative evolution. Over the last decade, all of the innovation we've discussed has been purely structural and passive. Better foams, smarter coils, fabrics that passively absorb heat.
Right, it's just materials.
Exactly. But as smart home technology fully integrates into every other room of the house, it is highly likely that the mattress in a box of the 2030s will cease to be a passive piece of furniture entirely.
Wait, what do you mean by passive? Are you talking about plugging the mattress into the wall?
Yes, literally. Imagine a bed that functions as a fully connected, active biometric electronic device. We're already seeing the early prototypes of sensors woven directly into the fabric cover that monitor your heart rate, your respiratory rate, and your sleep stages in real time.
Without needing a wearable device on your wrist.
Exactly. Without a wearable, it just knows.
That is wild.
And let's take that a step further. Imagine that biometric data actively communicating with the bed's core layers.
Okay.
The bed could automatically adjust the pneumatic firmness on your specific side if the sensors detect you tossing and turning and experiencing micro-awakenings. Or it could actively refrigerate the surface of the bed to drop your core temperature and force you into deep REM sleep.
No way!
Yes, all while completely syncing with your smart thermostat to adjust the ambient room temperature simultaneously.
That is incredible. It turns the mattress from a dumb piece of foam into an active, responsive health device that reacts to your biology while you are completely unconscious.
That's the future.
Well, until that sci-fi future arrives on our doorsteps, you are officially armed with everything you need to know for 2026. No more analysis paralysis, and definitely no more lying awkwardly under fluorescent lights while a salesperson pitches you. You've got the data, you know the science of the top 5 brands. Now all you have to do is pick your perfect match and wait for the box to arrive on your porch